Greetings, mighty companions.
Hello, family and friends. Here we are on a Tuesday evening again with A Course in Miracles, my beautiful Anna and myself. And we have already done the prayer, and Spirit has led us to chapter 19, section 1, from sin to peace.
That's right, in the complete and annotated edition. But if you go to your blue covered edition, if you have it on your phone, in the blue covered edition, go to the section that has obstacles to peace. The chapter that has the obstacles to peace, it's the first section probably in that chapter. So we are just going to do what we love to do best, which is read A Course in Miracles with each other and let ourselves be healed, brought back to peace by A Course in Miracles. That's just what we're just hanging out, two mighty companions hanging out, talking truth, applying truth to themselves.
What could be better than that in a world of illusions?
Absolutely. We are talking when we read A Course in Miracles, we are hearing about the truth that we all share that heals us of our illusions, our delusions. That's what we're doing when we study A Course in Miracles. We are literally taking in the ideas that actually replace the old belief system that has had us suffering for so long. That's what A Course in Miracles ideas do. When you let them in, they literally replace the old beliefs that have produced fear and guilt and shame and pain. So it seems like you're just reading a book, but you're really allowing your mind to be rewired. You're allowing your mind to be retaught so that you can have a different kind of experience in life.
That's beautiful. So reading A Course in Miracles is like a big detox.
Exactly. It's like reading A Course in Miracles is like taking medicine that actually treats the real cause, the source cause of your problems. Okay? Normally, the way we respond to our problems is just treating the symptom, our problems at symptom level, right? If this were different, I'd be happy. I need to change this person, change the situation, and I'll be happy. A Course in Miracles is the medicine that changes the cause and undoes the cause of the problems. So it's real deal medicine. No.
So how do you feel tonight? Do you want to start out just diving into reading, or would you like to do a 5-minute meditation first?
I feel peace in the idea of just jumping right in and then giving us more time to read this section, and then we'll do an integration meditation in the end.
I love it.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
And maybe we'll get further than 2 paragraphs tonight.
What? Oh, dreamer. You're such a dreamer. I love that about you. I love it. Demi says, detox 24/7, source cause. All right. And Irene says, hi, mighty companions.
Hi, Irene.
And hi, Rodney.
Demi.
Lovely to see
Hi,
you
Rodney.
all. Welcome to this healing circle. And thanks for joining your very loving, lovable energy to this healing circle. We can feel you, and it feels good. You feel good. So, all right. So we are in chapter 19, and this title of the section is Healing Through Faith. Okay? So we are going to be talking about how relationships are healed. And relationships, according to A Course in Miracles, are also situations. A situation is a relationship, and a relationship is a situation. Okay? So when you hear it say situations, know it's talking about relationships. And also know that every situation you got going on, it involves relationships. Every situation you can name, it involves some kind of relationship. Whether it's between you and your kids, your family, your mate, your colleagues, your co-workers, yourself, your source, whatever. So we're talking about how to heal our relationships, which means to bring them from guilt and pain to peace. That's what healing is according to A Course in Miracles. The ending of fear and the return to peace. That's when your relationship is healed, it goes from pain and anger to peace. Okay? And so this section is going to talk about the mechanics of how relationships can be healed. And little spoiler alert, it don't have anything to do with our plans for our relationship, the things we've been trying to do to make our relationships feel better.
Yeah, we think our relationships are healed if we could just get Anna to do what I want her to do.
Change.
And then everything would be fit.
Absolutely.
If she would just act the way I'd like her to act.
Exactly.
Talk the way I'd like her to talk and behave.
Yeah, that's our plan for happiness.
That's our plan.
If you were different, I'd be happy. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I want you to be different. I'm just going to want you to be different, expect you to be different, and then when you're not, I'm going to judge you, and I'm going to give you some guilt.
If we could only remember that all of our encounters, I was just sharing this today, all of our situations, which as Anna was saying is also relationships, all of our encounters, our relationships were ordained specifically by God. Why? So that we can learn what we need to learn.
Exactly.
And if it was changed, then we wouldn't be learning what God set up all the characters, the way God set up all the characters to be for us to learn what we're supposed to learn.
Exactly.
We're always trying to rearrange the classroom and say, well, Lord, I want my desk over here. And wouldn't it be better if the teacher wasn't in the room?
Exactly. We're trying to get everybody else to change instead of focus on what is it that I really need to learn so that I can be a peaceful person. You know,
and that I can be healed.
Exactly. Healed means happy. Healed means happy. Healed means peaceful. And the name of the chapter in the completed annotated edition is From Sin to Peace. So what's the problem? Sin and guilt. What's the answer? Some form of peace. And so that's what healing really means. I was in guilt and pain and suffering and anger and unhappiness, and then now I am at peace. Okay?
And really, what is sin? I mean, isn't sin somebody did somebody wrong?
Yes, it's always somebody did something to me, and they are guilty.
Right.
That's what sin is.
And if we were at peace, if you were and I were at peace, then it could only be because nothing's wrong. Everything's right, everything's great. And so from seeing things as wrong to seeing things as they are, as they should be, as God created things to be. And when you accept that through faith, then we can experience the outcome that God intended us to experience. But when we're always trying to change the mechanics of it, then we're not going to experience how God set up the classroom for us to get the learning and the outcome that we're supposed to have, because we rearranged all of the classroom mechanics.
We delayed the learning, which means we've delayed our return to peace. Okay? The whole goal of learning is to have peace, right? Every situation that has been set up, every appointed encounter is a set up by love, so that we could forgive others what we think of as our sins. That's what A Course in Miracles says learning is, forgiveness is, healing is, all synonyms. And it's all synonyms for I am forgiving them from the mistakes that I have made, that I feel guilty about and am hiding myself. So now somebody's got to come along and act out perfectly what I think of as my sins. so that I can look upon my sins and go, that's no sin, that's just an error. And that's a child of God who just doesn't know the truth about themselves, who made that error, who's just like me.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness, return to peace, healing. All right.
All right.
Beautiful.
Baby, take it away.
Okay, and hi, Bridget. Bridget says hi. Sin equals self-inflicted nonsense. I love it. Right on, Bridget. That's awesome.
S-I-N.
Yes, S-I-N, self-inflicted nonsense. Love that.
I'm going to use that one.
Me too. Are you experiencing some
Self-inflicted nonsense.
Again?
Have you been having any self-inflicted nonsense going on in your day
Yes,
today?
I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. All right. And so this is called healing through faith. It says, we said before that when a situation or a relationship has been dedicated completely to truth, peace is inevitable. All right. Now we know how to achieve peace. It just said. It says, if you want some peace and you want peace to be inevitable, dedicate that situation or that relationship completely to peace. All I want is peace for me, peace for them, peace for everybody. The only thing I want to be accomplished or come out of this is peace. That's all I want to happen here.
And so to get that outcome, we have to dedicate this situation to truth.
Yeah, completely.
And when we're in the situation, you know, having the situation.
Yeah, you got a situation.
There used to be a TV show where the guy would always say, we got a situation.
We got a situation here.
And so if we want peace, if that's our goal, then we need to dedicate this situation to truth.
Yes.
And that's why we're always reminding ourselves, what is the truth?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the truth is that every encounter is ordained by God. God set this up. That's the truth.
There's no accidental encounters.
Right.
No chance encounters. Every one of those encounters was set up to be a learning opportunity to take you from your guilt to your forgiveness, to your peace.
Right. When we start learning what you just said, that this situation is happening, stop focusing on the other person so much or the other people, and this situation is set up for my learning.
Yes.
Everybody involved is here for learning.
Yes.
To learn of each other and to be a teacher of each other. But when I start thinking, what am I here for? What am I here to learn?
Yes.
Then it starts removing my judgmental attitude about what she or he is doing here. And now I start remembering wholly the truth. I'm dedicating it to the truth.
Yes.
Oh, this is going on for me to learn something. I wonder what that is.
Yeah.
I wonder what I'm supposed to be learning out of this.
Yeah,
Am I supposed to be learning to hate my brother?
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Am I supposed to be learning that everybody's incompetent everywhere I go and that they're all jerks? You know,
Right.
Is that what I'm supposed to be learning here?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, that's not it.
Yeah, exactly. So any situation or relationship you're in right now where you're not at peace and there's not peace going on in that situation or relationship, the first thing that you want to do if you really want peace is to dedicate that whole situation and that whole relationship to the truth. I want to learn the truth about myself. I want to learn the truth about them. I want to learn the truth about the universe. I want to learn the truth about love. I'm dedicating this to learning what is the truth. Okay. And then peace is inevitable.
And what's the opposite? If I'm
Yes,
not at
exactly.
peace, then I've dedicated this situation to what?
To something not the truth. And the way it shows up for me is what I've dedicated the situation or relationship to is being right, getting my way.
Oh, okay.
Getting,
I can relate.
trying to change them so that I could be happy. You know, those are all the opposites of dedicating the relationship or the situation to the truth, to truth. Okay? And that's why the way that I do my problem solving through my ego never works. It doesn't produce peace. It produces more drama, more conflict. So now I have that conflict, and now it's multiplied. Yay!
So the next time we enter into a situation and we're not at peace, say to yourself immediately, I must have dedicated this not to truth.
And I dedicate this situation, this relationship to peace and truth. All I want to come of this situation and relationship is the truth, that I would remember the truth about myself, about them, the truth about everything, because I want peace. So it's a rededication. So the return.
I was just going to say that. Is when I'm not at peace, I have the opportunity to realize, I need to rededicate this situation to truth. And I already know I haven't because I'm not at peace.
Exactly. I love it. Ram Layak says, please come to India. I love it.
Well,
all right. Okay.
If Spirit provides,
Spirit, if it be thy will,
then India, here we come.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Now, the attainment of peace in the relationship or the situation is the criteria by which the wholeness of your dedication can be safely assumed. So, was peace the outcome in this relationship or situation? Well, yes, peace was the outcome. Then you must have you can assume that your dedication to truth and not your plans was complete. Okay, so you can assume that. So what is the criteria to let you know that you really did want to dedicate it to truth?
Peace.
Very good. Gold star.
So yeah, that's so simple.
Is there peace?
How do I feel?
Is peace present?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Peaceful? Yes or no?
Yes or no. It's real simple. Yes or
simple.
no. And if you don't feel peace, then you haven't dedicated the situation or relationship completely to truth. You're wanting something else besides truth. You know, like your script, you get in your way, being right, and on and on.
Right.
You know. So then it says, but we also said that peace without faith will never be attained. What do you mean? Because what is completely dedicated to truth as its only goal is brought to truth by faith. Okay? Now, what kind of faith is it that we're talking about that enables the situation to be brought to truth? Okay? What kind of faith enables me to completely dedicate our relationship to truth? Well, it's the kind of faith that encompasses everyone involved in that relationship and situation, because until your faith encompasses everyone involved in your relationship, only then is the situation or relationship perceived as meaningful, which means as a whole. Okay? So in order to dedicate this situation or relationship completely to truth, all I want to be accomplished here, all I want to get out of this, all I want to learn here is truth. What's the truth about me? What's the truth about them? What's the truth about everyone? What is the truth? What's the truth about reality here? What is really going on here? What is really reality going on here? What is the truth of the matter here? And the only way that you can have a complete dedication to the truth is to have your dedication, your faith, encompass everyone that is involved in this situation. So your faith is incomplete if your faith and your dedication to truth leaves one person out.
And this is so powerful because a lot of times when we enter into a situation, we go, oh, that person's calling for love. They are in this situation to learn, but we forget, oh, I am too.
Exactly.
I'm here to learn something also.
Exactly.
And so the faith has to encompass everyone involved, including yourself.
and including them. So
And
not just
including
you,
them.
everyone that the situation or relationship encompasses is there because they are needed for you to learn about the truth. You know, and if one person in that situation or relationship was missing, then you couldn't get that lesson complete. You couldn't get the complete lesson about what is the truth.
And if one person was missing, then God would be missing the
Yes.
person that needed to learn what they needed to learn.
Exactly.
Everybody is there specifically ordained by God to learn exactly what each one needs to learn, but we can't learn it, the lesson, unless our learning partner
Yes.
is there with us.
Exactly. And that's what A Course in Miracles says in the teacher's manual. It says that there are no chance encounters, and that every encounter is a holy encounter. And that what that means, according to A Course in Miracles, is that every person that you encounter is someone that the universe knew that together in that moment you could learn about the nature of reality. The nature of the reality of you, them, life, oneness, love, your truth, guiltlessness, and that the universe knew that, hey, if these two people meet at this time, then they can learn that lesson of the fact of their guiltlessness. And the universe knew that. And so the universe sets it up.
And so now the opportunity
Yes.
is present
Yes.
for all the parties that are there
Needed for that lesson.
to learn
Yes.
what they have come
Yes.
to learn. As you said, God's plan plays no chance.
Yeah, no chance plays any part in God's plan.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love it that God's plan isn't a roll of the dice.
No.
God's plan isn't some accidental happening. It's so precise. It's so perfect.
Yeah, it's so precise.
Imagine every time we get together with anybody in our day that we're getting together with them because this encounter has been specifically put together and ordained by God.
Exactly. It's a holy setup, which means it's a setup that has been set up by an intelligence that is wholly loving and wholly wise, and an intelligence that loves you and is looking for every opportunity to help you remember the truth about yourself as innocent and loving and lovable and abundant. You know, the universe is like, okay, here's my chance. Okay, all right, here's another opportunity. Here's another setup where it's a perfect opportunity for them to learn that they're innocent.
We've got all the right
Got all the
players
parts.
in place.
All the players, take your parts, take your
there's
sets.
Greg complaining again. He wants to get rid of some of these players. He wants to change things a little bit. He's lost his faith.
Yes, he's
in
lost his
God's
faith.
plan
Yes.
to orchestrate such
Yes.
brilliance.
It's hard to believe that the infinite intelligence of the universe loves us, cares about us so deeply that it's literally setting everything up for us before we even get there, so that we can finally remember how loved we are, how safe we are, how provided for we are. It's hard to believe that we're loved like that by a power like that. It's just very difficult to believe, you know. But that's what requires faith. Faith means I'm going to have to believe in this kind of love and this kind of infinite intelligence even before I see it with my eyes. That's what faith is.
To always be trusting.
Yes, that's what trust is. Trust and faith. All right, I don't see how I could be loved by an intelligence like that. I don't know how that could be so, but I'm gonna trust in that and see what happens. I mean, what could I lose? What could I lose? So that's
my own
faith.
belief system, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. What could I lose? My old belief system that says nothing goes right for me, God doesn't know about me, God doesn't love me, and God's angry at me. And I'm on God's crap list. That's my old belief system. So that's the only thing that we have to lose here by having faith in this kind of love and this kind of intelligence with this kind of purpose. The only thing we got to lose is our old belief system that says that it's all random and we don't live in a loving universe and a creator who loves us and knows us. So beautiful. So beautiful. Now it says, and everyone must be involved in this situation or relationship. Everyone must be included in your faith in this relationship, or else your faith is limited, which means your dedication to truth in this situation is incomplete. Okay? That's what, unless everyone is included in your faith, that this is all working out for your learning of the truth will set you free, then your faith is limited, which means your dedication is incomplete. Yes, and I have had some limited faith and some incomplete dedication.
Well, you're not alone.
Thank you.
That's why we're all here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some of us have had a little more than some than others.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hi, Cousin Robin. Look, I'm wearing a Robin original. Isn't that lovely?
Hi, Robin. I hope we see you soon this summer.
We hope we see you this summer. We do. All right. I'm going to text you later about that. Oh, that's a perfect example. The cousins party is a situation and a relationship for me right now that is calling for a complete dedication to the purpose of truth, and not leaving and not leaving anybody out, right. like anybody who's like, you can't come unless da da da. So that's a perfect situation and relationship to apply this to. And so what I'd like to do is practice right now, and I would like to do what I hear it saying, and I'd like to say, I, in this holy instant, dedicate the family reunion this summer to truth. That's all I want to come of it. That's all I want to experience through it. That's all I want to remember through it. It's all I want to give. It's all I want to receive and experience and remember with the family reunion cousins party this summer. And I extend that dedication to truth to everyone involved, including all the you-know-whos, that sometimes I've been tempted to leave out of my faith. It's like, here's my faith and truth, except for you-know-who, because they don't like me. That's what I've been tempted to do in the past. And so I didn't experience complete peace, because my dedication to truth for that situation relationship didn't include everybody.
Right.
And so then I wonder why I didn't have total peace in that situation.
Yeah, we tend to get off on this little trail in life where I'm a spiritual person, so God really cares about me because I'm dedicated.
Yeah.
But the truth is, dedicating the truth is, God cares about every single person in the story. My learning and this other person that you don't think is so spiritual or so loving
or worthy of your faith.
God doesn't have any less desire to see that child of God healed of all of their misperceptions and wrong thinking as much as me. Yes. And the Course of Miracles tells us that as long as any of us are here and believing that we're bodies, we're all equally needing to be healed.
Yeah, you here, you need healing.
And so when we're leaving somebody out of the story,
of our faith and truth,
then we're leaving out somebody that God cares just as much as God cares about our complete healing and joy and happiness.
Yes, exactly.
God's never the type to go, well, I want the 99 to be happy, and the one over there, after all, they've been kind of naughty, so I don't really want them to be happy.
Exactly. That's right. And that's why we have a limited amount of peace in that situation or relationship, you know.
We're always wanting to leave somebody out.
Exactly. It's like, I'm such a great Course in Miracles student, except for when it comes to you-know-who. I'm all about forgiveness, except for that person, because they're mean to me. Okay. In other words, you just said, I only want my peace to go up to that person. And then when my peace gets to that person, I want my peace to fail. That's what we're saying.
And isn't it funny that we all have
that person? Absolutely.
We all have that person in our life.
Exactly.
All of us.
You know who, you know. And we all have good reasons for why we exclude them from our faith and truth. but the truth is that paragraph 2, every single relationship, every single situation, properly perceived, correctly interpreted, becomes an opportunity to heal you and everybody.
And that's what we've been talking about.
Right. And
the situation was created for everyone to receive healing.
Yes.
And you shouldn't be looking at them as, well, what kind of healing are they going to get?
Yeah.
And what do you mean, all of us? I don't need no healing in this situation. They need healing.
Exactly.
Not realizing that I need healing just as much as everybody else involved here. Don't ever, get so arrogant that we think, we're just here to teach and to correct others, and to get others to get in line properly, and to be able to say the ABCs right. No, we're here to learn just as much, and when we really get that, that we're here to learn just as equally, and that Spirit cares about all of us equally for our learning. I love that. Every situation properly perceived becomes an opportunity, if we're perceiving it properly.
If we're interpreting that relationship correctly,
then we're interpreting it and perceiving it as an opportunity
to heal us,
to heal the children of God,
all of us.
And it's only an opportunity because it's only an open door to see if we're going to shut it or not.
Exactly. Absolutely. And so, I mean, there's that family member that, the story, my story has been, oh, they've always hated me, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Course in Miracles taught me to go, without this person who doesn't like you, Anna, would not be able to learn what you need to learn about self-love, unconditional self-love, unconditional love from Source. And if you didn't have that family member who was opposing you in your perception, then, how you ever gonna learn the truth that you need to learn about yourself and about love and about reality and about everybody? And you know what? If that person was there, you couldn't learn it. And that's how valuable that person is. So in other words, that person that you think is your enemy is really your savior.
Here to teach you something.
Correctly interpreted. Here to teach you something. Here to reflect something to you so that you, Anna, can finally learn the real truth about yourself that has nothing to do with how anybody sees you, including you. But you couldn't learn that without her. So that's what it means to have your faith encompass everybody in the situation, right? Instead of, oh, I have faith in truth, except for when it comes to her.
Or him.
Or him. Or that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And I love that. That's so beautiful that I lost my train of thought because the battery's going out. But you can keep reading. I'm going to get a plug.
Okay, thanks, honey. Yeah, so it's saying in paragraph 2, every situation, every relationship, correctly interpreted, becomes an opportunity to heal yourself, which means take yourself from pain to joy. That's the truth. And that's no exceptions. It says every situation, every relationship, correctly interpreted, becomes an opportunity to heal you, to heal them, to bring you both from fear and pain to love and joy and abundance. When you're correctly interpreting it, when you're seeing it correctly. All right?
What I was going to say was, you and I, when we look at God, Spirit, our Creator, we have this belief, most of us do, that I deserve unconditional love. Yeah, I make mistakes, I make errors, but I deserve unconditional love. But when this person comes along in my life, I don't want to give unconditional love.
I deserve unconditional love. In other words, my errors are errors, but their errors are sins, deserving punishment.
Right, and they don't deserve
it's the ultimate spiritual double standard that we all have.
I want to receive what I don't want to give.
I want to receive what I'm unwilling to give. That's the ultimate spiritual double standard.
And that's why a lot of these people show up in our experience.
That's right.
Is to teach us, hey, you're trying to receive something that you're not willing to give.
Yeah.
You see how that doesn't add up right?
And here's somebody who needs it in the form of being mean, and but you don't want to give it to them. I mean, you want it for yourself, but you don't want to give it to them, and then you wonder why you don't have greater peace in your relationships.
And just in case you forgot, you have been mean before.
Yes, I totally forgot about that.
But yes, you want
Yes.
to be loved by Creator in all of heaven.
Even though I wasn't very loving in many of those situations.
Right.
Myself. The Course in Miracles says that the only thing that can be lacking in any relationship, wait for it, is what you haven't given. The only thing that can be lacking in any situation is what you haven't given. In other words, if I perceive a lack of love in the situation, there ain't no lack of love. I just didn't give the love. And because I wasn't giving the love, I was giving judgment. That now I perceive that there's a lack of love. But it didn't come from them. It didn't come from the situation. It came from me making an exception to them. So, wow, that's pretty deep, huh? Yeah, that's why the name of this section is The Healing of Relationships. The Healing by Faith. Healing by faith. Okay? It says that, so every relationship and every situation correctly interpreted becomes an opportunity to heal you and them and everybody. And they are healed because you offered faith to them, which means, what does it mean to offer faith to them? It means you've given them to the loving Spirit, which means you've released them from every demand your ego would make of them. I love that definition of giving them faith. It's not like, oh, I give faith to your ego, whatever your ego says or does. That's great. That's it, To say, it says, and they are healed because you offered faith to them, which means they are healed because you gave them to loving Spirit. I give you back to Spirit. I didn't create you. God did. I give you back to God. I give you back to Spirit. And I release you from every demand that my fear wants to make of you.
And let's talk about that when we say I release you.
Yes.
That can be in just not wanting to change them.
Yeah.
The way they
That's
are right now.
That's right.
When God comes to us, God doesn't go, well, I need to change you.
Yeah.
Your dress is a little too short, Anna. You need to have a longer dress on. I need to change you in order for me to love you.
Yes.
No, Spirit comes in and says, you know what? I love you just the way you are.
Exactly. Whatever you're wearing.
You don't need to change anything.
Exactly.
Whatever you're wearing or whatever you're not wearing.
And that Spirit releasing us from every demand. And that's how we heal other people.
That's how we release them.
Exactly. So giving faith to other people, healing people, means to release them from every demand your fear would make of them. So my fear makes a lot of demands on people. You need to change like this for me to be happy. You need to be like that for me to be happy. You need to do that for me to feel safe. You need to do this for me to feel secure. You need to do this to make me feel good about myself. These are the demands that our fears put on others, which is the opposite of giving them faith, which is also the opposite of healing them.
And if we're dedicating this relationship
to truth,
yes, what's the first thing the ego's going to tell me when I let this other person just be as they are,
right,
and allow the situation to be without me intervening? And how am I going to learn if God sent this character into my experience? And I go, I want a different character.
Yes, exactly.
Well, a different character isn't going to teach me what God sent me to learn.
Which is the truth about yourself.
So if I'm dedicating it to truth, I'm remembering, oh, they're here for a reason.
Yes.
They're here for me to learn.
Exactly.
Instead of me looking at them as being an idiot or acting strangely. And the ego is going to scream in our head, if you just let this situation be as it is, as God created it, then they're just going to walk all over you like a doormat.
Or they'll abandon you.
Yes. Or they'll take advantage of you. Or they'll just do it more.
Exactly.
In other words, now the ego's trying to tempt you into putting your trust and your faith in the situation rather in the creator of the situation.
Exactly. And if you could demonstrate that your security and your peace was in them, fulfilling your script, then you would forever keep from yourself the truth that your happiness and your security and your abundance truly comes from the source within you. And you would never learn that. I mean, if everybody cowed to your demands,
the way you want them to,
then you would never learn that within you are complete. You don't need somebody to be like that. You don't need another body to be with you so that you're not alone. You don't need somebody else to change for you to love yourself and feel secure. But if people really changed for you to feel safe and loved, then you'd never learn the truth about you, which means you'd never be free. Because truly, if my happiness really is in them fulfilling my script, then that means my happiness is outside myself, which means I always gotta be looking for it and trying to find it. And once I find it, I gotta be worried about possessing it and not losing it.
And you have a dependency.
Now you have a dependency. And everybody knows that dependency is weakness, unless your dependency is on the source.
Right.
The source of love, the source of life. Now that's a dependency that does result in peace.
Exactly.
So beautiful. It says they are healed because you offered faith to them. Offering faith to Him means you give them back to Spirit who created them. And healing them means you release them from every demand your fearful mind, your guilty mind, would make of them. And by releasing them from every demand your fearful mind would make of them, you set them free. That's how you set people. You want to heal somebody? Set them free. Healing people means setting them free. From what? From the demands your fearful, angry, guilty mind would make of them. You know, only my fearful mind makes demands. Only my fearful mind is so insecure and feels so small and feels so weak and feels so inadequate that it needs to make demands of everybody. You know, to feel lovable, to feel safe, to feel bigger, right? Only my fearful mind, my ego, makes demands. Okay? And
that's what a savior of the world does.
And that's right. It releases people.
Goes around setting people free. Not going around putting them or keeping them in more bondage.
Yeah.
Which is trying to change them and everything.
And obligation.
And messing up the whole teaching curriculum.
Exactly.
Which is what we spend
oh my God.
the majority of our time doing all day long.
And that's what we've learned that a happy relationship is. Okay, I put my demands on you, and then you put your demands on me. I say you got to change like this, and you're like, great. Well, if I'm gonna do that, you got to change like this. And then we've learned that when the bargaining, compromising balance is achieved in our relationship, then we say we have a match made in heaven. You know, he wants to meet the demands I'm putting on him, and I want to meet the demands he's putting on me from his fear. Oh, it's a match made in heaven. That's what we've learned relationships. That's how we've learned to do relationships, not set each other free. We didn't learn love is freedom. We learned love is make a deal, baby. Make a deal and seal the deal. You know, make that compromise deal and then seal it, right? With a lot, you know, and with a lot of guilt. That's what we learned about what love is, and that's the opposite of love. Love is releasing them from the demands our fearful mind would make of them, setting them free from guilt.
I have this image in my head, if you're holding this piece of paper for me, and that's a person, and this is another person, and God made both of these situations to come together perfectly the way they are, so that this person can learn from that person, and they are the perfect character, the absolute perfect character for teaching me what it is I need to learn. But they come to me, and then what do? I go, well, you would be good if you didn't have this upper part of you. You could get rid of that. And then
I go, great. Well, then I think you would be better like that.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're going to do that, then I don't want you rolled up. I want you to be twinkled, first of all. And then let's just get rid of this whole little section here, because you look too sexy when you wear that kind of stuff, and it makes me feel insecure.
Oh,
I've had my heart broke before.
Okay, well, if I'm gonna sacrifice wearing what I want to wear, then you cannot go play poker as much as you do like that. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay, great. And then
so
what do we have left?
So now, what God sent to be the remedy, it's like the medicine jar is now missing a lot of the medicine.
And look, and now we don't have two whole and complete people. We have two fragmented people who are missing crucial parts of themselves. You know, where you have two people who are missing parts of themselves that they were created to have.
That
And then we
not
wonder,
gonna work.
why don't I feel fulfilled in my relationships? Oh, I know, because I'm with the wrong person.
Right.
No, you have sacrificed what's a part of yourself. In total, you've sacrificed, the whole of yourself just so you could change somebody else.
And 10 years later in the relationship, as we keep tearing each other apart,
making demands of each other.
What's left of each of us is not what was
not who we are.
Who we are, which is not going to help teach anything.
This isn't my truth. This is not my true self. That's not his true self. It's a fragment.
It's not our whole self.
Exactly. So now what am I left with? I don't know the truth about myself. He doesn't know the truth about himself. We don't know the truth about our relationship because of all the demands that we put on each other in the name of love. Unfortunately, that's the biggest tragedy of all. All that demanding the other person sacrifice a part of themselves for our insecurity, now...
and then what do? We go and find somebody else.
Oh, let's...
And we're back to
here's our first date.
To our whole self
Here's
again.
our first date. Oh, you're perfect. Oh, you're perfect. You're perfect. No, you're perfect. Oh, and then I say, oh, never change, honey. Never change. You're perfect the way you are.
The way you are.
And then 3 months, 6 months passes. And it's like, well, you're not exactly perfect.
And we go through the whole process.
We go through the whole thing
again.
It's a fantastic demonstration of that, baby. I love it. Beautiful. I love it. Demi says, pardon the choppy text. Bridget says, a little piece. Demi says, jagged paper. Here comes the bride. Bait and switch. Exactly. What do we always say, at the beginning of our relationship? You're perfect. I wouldn't change anything about you. Don't ever change. And then months in, we're like, well, I really need you to stop going to play poker, as often as you do, because I'm feeling a little insecure. And that insecurity isn't coming from me, it's coming from your behavior. So I need to make a demand that you change to accommodate my insecurity. Now, if Greg was to change to accommodate my insecurity, does that make my insecurity go away? Absolutely not. It actually makes my insecurity bigger. Because now I've taught myself and Greg that my insecurity comes from outside of myself, okay, which makes me more insecure.
Right. More dependent.
More dependent. Now I'm more dependent because I've taught myself that my security comes from somebody acting differently, and so now I make more demands, on them to accommodate my insecurity, right? So that's what we've learned is a relationship, and unless you're gonna make demands like that, unless you're gonna be with somebody who says, okay, I accept your demands and I will change and sacrifice to accommodate your insecurity, well, they don't love me. So next. That's what we learned relationships are, but that's not how you experience love. That's not real love. Real love is where we offer the relationship and the other person faith that all we really want, and the only thing that makes us truly happy in one is knowing the truth about ourselves, knowing the truth about the other, that they're the same truth, knowing the truth about reality, knowing the truth about love, which is God. It used to be that my happiness is if somebody would make me happy, if they would sacrifice to accommodate my insecurity, I'd say, oh, you love me, and now that makes me happy. Now, what A Course in Miracles is teaching us is that only knowing the truth about yourself and reality and the other person will ever make you happy, not what somebody else does for you.
So when this person comes into our experience Rodney says, by the way, good discussion. Your abundance is working. I needed this reminding of what I forgot.
Beautiful,
Thank you,
Rodney.
We got
Beautiful.
two different
Thank you
cameras
for
going,
saying
so
that.
if you don't
Yes.
see
Right. Thank you.
postings on one camera,
Yes.
because we're reading it off of another camera. But when this person comes into our experience, no matter how they're behaving, how they're acting, we don't put our faith, that's what we're talking about tonight, is faith. We don't put our faith in them, we're putting it in our source and creator.
Yes.
And when we take our eyes off of them
And their behavior.
and put it on source,
Yes.
then we can trust the situation.
Exactly.
Because now we put our trust where it belongs. Once we put our trust in the situation,
Or the
all
person.
hell is going to break.
No peace.
No peace.
No peace.
Because we put our faith and our trust where it doesn't belong.
Exactly.
As soon as I put my faith and trust in Anna, as Anna was saying, for my happiness, for my peace, for my joy, for my fulfillment,
for my security,
so that I feel secure. As soon as I put my faith in the situation, in her or the situation, I can assure myself that I've dedicated it not to truth.
Yes.
When I'm dedicating it to truth, I'm putting my faith where faith belongs, which is in source.
Exactly.
And once I've done that, then the situation cannot be but peaceful, because it doesn't affect me. How can it affect me when I'm not trusting in it?
Exactly. You're not dependent on that.
Right.
And so in the holy relationship, or the healed or the happy relationship, then Greg and I aren't putting our faith in each other's behavior changing to suit our fear. We are going, you know what? I don't feel good about myself today. And as much as my ego is telling me it's Greg, the truth is that what I really need is the truth. I've forgotten the truth. I've forgotten the truth about myself. I've forgotten the truth about reality. And so I'm going to leave Greg alone. I'm not going to be like, well, you're the reason for my unhappiness and you need to change, and here's how you need to do it. What I do now, more than I did before, was I go, wow, I don't like the way I feel today. Yes, my ego's tempted to put it on Greg, but I know it's not Greg. I was feeling this way before Greg, right? And so I'm going to go read A Course in Miracles today. I'm going to go read my lesson. I'm going to go listen to the truth. I'm going to go seek for the truth. I'm going to listen to the truth, listen to the truth, listen to the truth. And then I go and I listen to the truth, and I put the truth on my dis-ease, my discomfort. And the next thing you know, I have peace. I put my faith in the truth instead of my faith in Greg meeting the demands I made of him.
Well, we can also, when I'm getting triggered by something you're doing, or I'm not at peace by something I perceive you're doing, I can, that's the giveaway that you have a lesson to learn.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling peaceful, you can be 100% assured that you have been presented with an opportunity to learn a lesson.
Yes.
If you're not feeling peaceful. So it's a great idea, as Anna said, to go to listen to truth, to read some course, to put an audio on. That is always very helpful.
Yes.
What's also helpful is to ask Spirit, because now you recognize what's going on. Oh, I'm being triggered. Oh, I'm not feeling peaceful. Oh, I'm getting angry. I'm getting upset.
I'm tempted to think it's them.
And when I feel any of those attributes, I can try to remember, to remind myself, oh, this is, as the Course says, an opportunity. An opportunity to what? To learn something.
Yes.
So what would be the logical thing to do at this point? To ask Spirit, okay, in this situation that's going on here where I'm not feeling peace, what am I supposed to learn here? Because if I just brush it off, or if I try to get her to change for me,
With demands,
so that I feel better, then I'm delaying my learning process, and I have to wait for somebody else to come along and fulfill that role again. So when it happens, try to remember, if we can, to call on Spirit and say, oh, I am in awareness that this is an opportunity to learn. And how do I know that? Because I don't feel peaceful. That doesn't mean anything's wrong. It actually means something's right.
It's a miracle.
Because
use your chance, come again.
I have an opportunity to learn. This only comes along every so often when this kind of character comes along. Now that character's come along, I have the opportunity to learn. Am I going to blow it, or am I going to learn the lesson? Because if I don't learn the lesson, I'm delaying it, meaning that a day later, a week later, a month later, a year later, 10 years later, finally that lesson just keeps coming around and coming around and coming around.
We call it our patterns.
Every time I don't feel peaceful, every time that lesson comes, I feel hurt, I feel abandoned, I feel lonely, I feel anxious, all of those, whatever that lesson brings, I feel it every time. Don't we want to end it?
Don't you want to heal that? Don't you want to heal
that
the
pattern.
part of you that feels insecure once and for all, or do you want to just keep putting band-aids on it? You know, just patching it up and putting a band-aid on the big old feeling of insecurity, and you know, don't you want to get to the root of that feeling of insecurity and shame? You know, don't you want to get to the root of it and pull it out by the roots and let it be healed, instead of just putting a little teeny little band-aid on it and then wasting another few years, you know, of time, only to come back to the same damn lesson?
How many of our fights do we say, I don't even want to talk about, because it's the same conversation. In fact, I can tell you what you're going to say now. And then you already know what I'm going to say. That's
kicking the can down the road, putting a little band-aid on the big old hurt inside of you, the big old yawning void.
Rather than realizing, you don't, the problem is you've never changed. The problem is I've never learned.
The lesson.
The lesson.
I never let something be healed within me.
Right. And until I come to that awareness, then I'm never gonna realize,
it's me.
I need to learn something here.
Exactly.
So Spirit, Spirit, what am I supposed to be learning here? Would you help me see what it is that I'm supposed to learn? And wouldn't it be wonderful that now for the rest of my life, whenever this comes up, I don't get anxious, I don't get upset, I don't get angry, or whatever those emotions are anymore around that story, because I allowed myself to learn finally the lesson. And now I can get on to the other 10,000 other lessons I need to learn and quit staying on the same lesson.
Exactly. Let's learn it once and for all. And get on to bigger and better things, like creating from our joy. Instead of trying to control the world and everybody through our fear and our guilt. Okay? That's a waste of time. That's so beautiful. And what I was hearing when you were saying that was, what was I hearing? Oh, yes. I don't remember.
That's okay.
I don't remember. It'll come back anyway. But thank you. That's
time to pick back reading.
I do remember now, of course. So often when that pain and that anger comes back around, and I'm like, this is just like all the men in my past. It's the same old pattern, and and it's the grievance about what they're not giving to me, what they're not doing, you know, or what they're doing wrong, what they're not giving me, right? And so just recently, Spirit is like, you know, that grievance you got with them about how what they're not giving you. The lesson is that's what you're not giving to them and others. But you have been deceiving yourself for all these years, thinking that, well, that's the way men are. They can't do that, you know. And the lesson is that it's not them who's not giving it to you, it's you who ain't giving it. What you say you want, that they're depriving you of. And it's like, and when that lesson, it's like, when that's a lesson, like, oh crap.
It can't be me.
It can't be me. No, that's them depriving me of it. No, it's not me not giving that love and not giving that freedom. No, it's them. And then the one before them and the one before them. And that's just a total coincidence that it's this person, my partner, and then everybody else before them. It's just a total coincidence, right? It's just the way men are.
And who better to see something than the one who isn't giving it? Who better to see? Hey, they didn't put no money in the offering plate.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Jared, how much did you put in?
Right. Exactly. Oh, they're not setting me free from guilt. Oh, is that now? But I'm assuming from your judgment and your grievance that you always release everybody from guilt for making mistakes, right? Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we never see it that way.
No, we never see that what we think others are depriving of is what we have not been giving to the situation or to others in our life.
Right.
Until we stop projecting the grievance and the anger onto other people, and we do like what you said, Spirit, what is the lesson that I'm supposed to learn here? What's the thing that I need healing here that I'm not seeing? Right? And unless we ask that and for a moment stop projecting, stop making it about them, we'll never get that lesson. But as soon as we stop and ask that question, it won't be long. Spirit will be like, da-da-da, and we're like, whoa, oh my, okay, thank you. You know, and then what comes next is forgiveness for self, forgiveness for learning, forgiveness for being a learner. That's what it means to be a happy learner. Oh man, that was a projection of my own rejection. Okay, forgiveness. I'm learning how to be a happy learner. I'm still learning. They're learning. Everybody's learning. It's okay. No guilt, no shame. No guilt, no shame for still learning. Don't forget that part. Don't forget that part. Once you get the lesson and realize you were doing it to yourself, don't then blame yourself and feel like a bad truth student. You know, remember that the next part of the lesson is forgiveness for still learning, because everybody's learning here. Okay. At least you were willing to learn, and that's a miracle. So don't feel ashamed. Okay. I love it. Leanna says, I honestly struggle with this a lot. Turn it into opportunity. And earlier, Leanna said that when she gets tempted like this a lot, and that one of the things she does is she goes and listens. She reads a workbook lesson or goes and listens to our class.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And today I was texting with Trisha, and she was saying that when she gets disappointed in her relationships, that she goes to the upper room and she marathons Anna and Greg.
I love it.
I said it makes me so happy to hear that somebody's marathoning us.
I love it.
Like binging us. You know how we binge some of our shows?
Yes.
There's some people who binge us, you know. So maybe we should binge ourselves more often. And then Bridget says, same shit, different day. LOL. Beautiful. Love it. Hi, Jerry. Okay, Jerry says, I love this lesson.
Yeah, so do we.
This is how This is how you heal your relationships, by faith.
Right. Setting them free.
Yes, exactly.
And,
setting them free.
In turn, it will help set us
Exactly. Free. So beautiful. All right. It says, and in this vision of setting them free, does Spirit share this vision? And since Spirit shares this vision of setting them free from your demands that your ego is making of them, Spirit has given this vision, and so Spirit has healed through you. This is how Spirit heals through you. When we release people from the demands our fearful mind is making of them, that's Spirit healing through us. Beautiful. And when we do this, when we release each other from the demands our ego is making of each other, this is us joining Spirit in a united purpose that makes the purpose of healing real, because you're making that purpose complete. You're not leaving anything out, no exceptions. And when you do this, you are healing. This is how we heal ourselves. This is how we heal the world. This is how we heal ourselves. We release others from the demands that our fearful, angry, guilty mind wants to make of them in the name of love. That's healing. That's really healing. So healing is not like, I lay my hands over you, demons be gone. Healing is, you know what, you're innocent. All I really want in this situation, in our relationship, is that we would remember the truth about ourselves. That you would remember the truth about yourself, I would remember the truth about myself, and that together we would remember the truth about ourselves and each other and the universe and God, and that's what we would do. And that's what we would help each other with. And that's my purpose. That's healing. It says, and a nice fruit of this healing is that the body is healed, because when we release each other from the demands our ego would make of each other, we actually came without the body, which means we joined the mind in which all healing rests. Wow. So when we dedicate our relationship in this situation just to learning the truth about ourselves and each other, then our body is healed, because that's how we healed the mind. That's how you reach the mind in which all healing exists. Wow.
And so I hear it saying right now that we're not just getting our mind healed, but it says the body is healed.
Yes.
The body's healed because you came without it and joined the mind in which all healing rests. Yes. So when we join Source's mind, Creator's mind, that everything is the way it was intended to be for the learning of our brothers and our sisters and us, for everyone involved, not excluding anybody out, then we're healed, and our body along with it is healed. And in paragraph 3, I love how it talks about the body cannot heal because it cannot make itself sick. The body doesn't decide to make itself sick. The body gets sick because the mind is sick.
Yes.
And the mind is sick when it thinks, you know what, I need to change this other person.
I'd be happy if you change. If this were different, I'd be happy.
In order for me to be healed. No. In order for you to be healed, just leave that person alone.
Your mind needs to be healed, not them.
Your mind needs to be healed.
Not them.
Which is the thinking that you need to change everything as Creator has perfectly ordained it to be, for the perfect learning structure of everybody involved.
Yes.
And when the mind is in accord with that, then miraculously the body becomes a demonstration of that healed mind.
Exactly. And anytime you're saying to the people you're in a relationship or a situation with, if you were if you were different, if you were acting differently or looking differently or saying something differently, I would be happy. What you're saying is, if your body was doing something differently, I'd be happy, I'd be healed. Anytime you're saying if you were different, I'd be happy, you're saying if your body was saying or doing something differently. So you are literally making it, thinking that your healing and happiness comes from the body. But when you, instead of making demands on them, you're going for the truth, understanding the truth, what perceives or experiences the truth, where could the truth be but a mind? So when you're going for, I'm going to go for truth for my healing instead of trying to get your body to do something differently, you are literally leaving the body behind and coming to the mind, which is the real and only source of any kind of happiness and healing.
So you see the way it works. Here's our body, and our body comes up to another body and it points at it and says, your body is wrong. Your body
your behavior
is not whole.
Yeah.
And when we say that, it literally makes our own body not whole. It makes our own body sick.
Yeah.
And it's a projection.
Yes.
It's a projection of us pointing across the way and saying, you are not right. You're not whole.
Your body needs to be changed.
Your body is sick.
Your body's the problem. What your
body
body's
has a
saying
problem.
or doing, that's the problem. You know, if your body was acting differently or saying something different, I'd be happy. Your body is the problem. And what is that? What happens? Now my body is the problem. Now my body is sick. Just like you were saying, it's a total projection. I'm going to judge your body as the problem. Guess what happens to my body? I just put guilt on your body, and now I just put guilt on my body. Now my body weirdly gets sick. I guess I must have come in contact with somebody who was sick. You got me sick. You got me sick. Your body got my body sick.
And anybody coming in late right now, Jerry, we're in chapter 19 and we're just picking up in paragraph 3.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but it is 8:20.
Yes, it is.
So I think probably we should begin to end it. And but as we always encourage, go ahead and finish it. It's really beautiful. And really, it's just going to go on to talk about more of what we've already talked about. So it's a beautiful thing.
What we'll get into more is the fact that the more that we try to change our circumstances, change the people in our circumstances, judge the people, fix the people, correct the people,
change their behavior,
manipulate everything, rearrange the furniture in the room that God set up, then not only are we going to lose our peace, but our body is going to now start to become a reflection of our behavior. It's going to start getting sick, and we're going to think the sickness came from outside of us somewhere, from a virus, from
somebody who gave us the cold or the COVID.
Somebody else. And again, not realizing where the source of the problem is. The source of the problem is trying to rearrange the furniture in our experience all the time. And it not only robs us of our peace, but it robs our physical body that we have come to learn in, the spacesuit that we came to learn in, starts to malfunction, have issues with it. And there's no better way. I say it again, there's no better way to bring about a cure for our physical illnesses than to just stop trying to change our situations and be more trusting in God and our situations that come to us.
Exactly.
And remembering that every situation, every encounter, that's why the Course in Miracles says every circumstance, every encounter, every event is helpful.
Yes.
Why? Because every situation, encounter, and event has been orchestrated by God's perfect plan
Yes.
for the learning of everybody involved.
Yes.
And once we start tinkering with that, messing with it, then we're robbing ourselves. We're not setting our brothers and sisters free. We're keeping them in bondage.
Yes.
And we're bringing sickness onto our own experience through our bodies.
Yes. Well said. It's the perfect encapsulation of the section so far. Wonderful. So, hi Hector, lovely to see you. And Jerry says that's a good addiction to have.
I think we should read this
Okay.
right here.
All right.
Because it's not us saying it, it's the author of the Course in Miracles saying it.
Okay. All right, paragraph 3. The body cannot heal, which means the body cannot make you happy. The body's behavior, their behavior cannot make you happy. It cannot heal you because the body and its behavior cannot make itself sick. That means the body needs no healing. That means that the body's health or sickness depends entirely on how the mind perceives the body and the purpose that the mind would use the body for.
And that's what I wanted to read was,
yes, beautiful.
Is that the body depends entirely, not mostly, entirely on how the mind perceives it.
Yes, exactly. And so it used to be that my mind saw the body as a means to blame my unhappiness on. And now, of course, in Miracles has taught me how to interpret the body as a communication device for joining the mind. But when I was seeing the body as the source of my happiness, and I was seeing their body's behavior as the source of my security, then I was assigning to the body a sick purpose, an unloving purpose. And so then, the body and their behavior can't make me happy. No matter how they try to change to make me happy, it doesn't make me happy. What it does is it makes me more frustrated. And what happens? Now my body is getting sick. Okay? So, what does it say about the body? Its health is dependent completely on what the mind is using the body for. And entirely on what? On how my mind perceives the body. Are you seeing the people in your life, are you seeing their body and their behavior as responsible for your happiness and your security? Okay, well then your body's going to be sick. Because when you see their behavior as the source of your happiness, and then you're still upset, what are you going to do to their body? You're going to judge their bodies. Which, of course, does what to our bodies?
And every judgment is like us, taking a little injection of poison. A little bit more poison. A little bit more poison.
Exactly.
Would you just be this way? Would you just change like that? Would you stop behaving like that? I don't want to learn that lesson.
Exactly.
Then our body starts getting a little bit more weaker, a little
sicker,
bit more tired,
a little older, a little weaker. Exactly. And the alternative to putting demands on other people's body and their behavior to change so that you can be, quote, happy, the alternative to that is when you are not happy is to stop blaming it on their behavior and trying to get it to change and go, I dedicate this relationship and this situation completely to learning the truth about myself that I really do need to learn. And this is my opportunity to learn and to remember the truth about myself so that I don't have the need to try to manipulate everybody's behavior to make me feel good about myself. And I want to take this opportunity to learn the truth about myself so that I can set them free from my demands on their body, and so that I can set myself free from this freaking weakness. I want to set myself free from this pattern, this weakness that has been haunting me and obsessing me and turning me into a guilt and anger slave. I don't want to be the slave of this anger. I don't want to be the slave of this hurt and this neediness anymore. I don't want to be a slave. I don't want to be a needy person, a slave to my insecurity for the rest of my life. I don't want that. I want the truth about myself now relative to all this. That's the alternative. That's the way you heal your relationship, through faith in the truth. I know if I knew the truth about myself, this would set me free from this insecurity and this neediness, which sets them free.
Beautiful.
All right.
Very well said.
Okay, awesome. So now we're just going to do a few minute integration meditation, and then we'll try to take it out into the lab and see if we can bring healing to our relationships through faith in the truth. Okay. All right. So if you haven't already, close your eyes and take a breath. Beautiful. So I want you to bring to your awareness a situation or a relationship right now in which you are not experiencing peace. Beautiful. And now the first thing that we heard in this section, in order to have peace, is to dedicate this situation and relationship completely to truth, leaving no one, leaving nothing out. So let's say within ourselves, I dedicate this relationship situation completely to learning the truth about myself, and the truth about love, and the truth about real happiness and where real happiness comes from. I want to use this situation to learn the truth about myself that I have been denying and putting off for far too long now. And so now, keeping this situation or relationship in our mind, let's turn to our higher self, our teacher, our guide within us that our source gave us, so that we could never forget the truth forever. And let's say to our higher self, Spirit, what is the lesson that that you've offered me to learn? What is the lesson that this situation, relationship is giving me the opportunity to learn once and for all, so I don't have to keep repeating it? I want to learn it now, right now, today, with this person now. I don't want to put it off and have to learn it with another person down the road. Spirit, higher self, what is the lesson? What is the truth about myself that I need to learn here?
In spirit, rather than complaining about them, as I have done in the past when this lesson has been presented as an opportunity, let me take some time and thank you for sending this person to me, that I might finally take the opportunity to learn the lesson that you so desire me to learn for my own best interest.
Because you want us set free from our pain once and for all. This painful pattern. And higher self, please help me to release this person from the demands that my insecurity has been demanding of them, has been placing on them. Please help me to release them from the demands my fear and insecurity is placing on them. Help me to set this person free from my demands so that I can remember the truth about myself. I don't need their behavior to change to be happy. I don't need their behavior to change just so that I can feel loved. Help me, higher self. I really need your help in this. Higher self, I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth that sets me free from fear. I want to know the truth that sets me free from insecurity. I want to know the truth that helps me to set them free so that I can be free. I want to know what the truth is here, higher self, so that I can see my partner, my friends, my family, as they really are, my freaking saviors. My saviors come back around to save me. I want to see them as they are, so that we can have a relationship that's fun and safe and loving and abundant and joyous and a benefit to humanity. I really want to see my friends and family, my partners as they are, so that we can have a holy relationship and have a beautiful, amazing, loving, fun, abundant life together. I know that's what you want for us, Spirit. And in this holy instant, my will and your will are one. You want us to have a holy, happy relationship, and I want that too. And so in this moment where I happen to be the saner of the two of us right now, I'm going to remember how deep my indebtedness is to this person. This is my Savior. I'm deeply indebted to them because they agreed to show up and help me learn this lesson once and for all. And so, in my gratitude to my Savior, I'm going to ask to remember the truth for both of us right now. And so on behalf of this brother or sister who is one with me, who is my freaking Savior, come back around. I ask to remember and see the truth for both of us, because I recognize I can't remember the truth without them being released by the truth. I can't be released by the truth without them being released by the truth, and vice versa. So I ask for the truth on behalf of both of us right now, Spirit, recognizing that we will be released from the ego together. Thank you, higher self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen. All right, you guys. That's the way to bring your relationships to healing through faith. Thank you so much for joining this healing circle. We hope that it has been helpful. We know your joining this healing circle has been helpful to us and to all the world. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much.
Have a great week, guys. We'll see you next Sunday night again. Same time,
Same place. May the Course be with you.